this is where I start withholding information, especially for all you communication devices. I'm not going to give you questions like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. You're going to get the answers from your communication devices. So, where are you? You were at the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Her mansion used to sit in the front of the space, right where that car is coming out, is facing East Bay Street. And then Eliza's garden is lined up with Five First Restaurant right behind me, and went all the way across. And then the servant slave quarters were in the back of the space. So that's the layout of the land. Now, who the hell were these people? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks. That's why we look for those secondary clues. That's really my point. Somebody hears the name Charles, I want another clue so I know how to address them. They're all 3 different men. Now, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. That's a big deal for us, but I hate politics. If I don't give them that recognition, they're going to do it for me very nastily through one of your communication devices, probably a spirit box. I've seen it dozens of times, so I'm just trying to make sure I remember every time.
You're safe. It's okay.
Good. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
It says we're safe, everybody. We're good. Now, moving on to Eliza.
Does that mean they're lying?
Eliza has a much better story. Let's get into her. Eliza marries Charles at a young age, according to Sergei slowly like that. You're going to ask her how old she was when she married. You not expect numbers from the colonial age she came from, like 12 to 14, when young ladies got married. Think of today's standards, because her husband is over double her age when they married. Creepy then, creepy now. So I'm just going to point that out. I don't think there's anybody in the group that has an age gap between them as far as couples go. And I've had to put my foot in my mouth a few times, so that's why I'm looking around at all of you. Now, back to Eliza. She married him because her father thought he was dying. He was trying to bring all his children home to England so he could see them one last time. Eliza did not believe he was dying. Instead, she stayed put right here and got married. It's 1744. You do not get married in that year to get a green card. We are not a country yet, guys. She did marry him out of love. This is a true love story and a respectful woman. So when we are out and about, on some gun, let's try to be respectful as much as we possibly can. Otherwise, all activity does stop. But anyway, she was correct. Dad did not die right away. And instead, he started sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. That's how we use it now. However, when she got to see, she didn't know what to do with it. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated. It's obviously not super hot here all the time. So when she learned how to keep it going, she learned how to make the dye, moved it to a cash crop down by the Stoner River, got a hold of Dad and told him the rice plantations were going downhill. They were going to make a killing with this indigo. She was right. We now have an international businesswoman during colonial days. Something absolutely unheard of.
Money.
So, that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys are all here. Now, here's what's going to happen.
She's seeing something in that window.
The window has window panes to it. So, again,
okay, so that's
yep.
not going to be, okay. So,
Close.
I was like, oh, this is exciting.
Yeah, those are not going to be hanging out on the window going, hey, down there.
They
Also
might.
notice, like, the building is tall. Ghosts are not going to be 50 foot
Well,
tall.
maybe it's just hanging out up there, you know, floating.
Well, a lot of people will claim something in the trees. And I'm like, nope, pirates didn't hang over here, sorry. Because again, all the leaves and branches. So with all of these communication devices, I'm going to basically kind of throw out a bunch of focus questions based on what type of spirit box you have or communication device. Keep in mind that we do have 3 cameras running, plus my voice recorder, and at least 5 to 6 communication devices. Those answers that you are asking for can go anywhere. That's why I always, even if it was just Dena and Corey here, I'm going to still use at least 2 communication devices to verify where it's going to go. So that way you guys can kind of keep that in mind. So let's start off with the red spirit boxes. Who has those? So I got Matt. Oh, look at this. Right next to each other. All right, so you guys are going to be focused on Eliza's death. So 4 major things that we get common answers to: how old she was when she died, what she died from, where she's buried, which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. So keep that in mind. Your answers can go anywhere. And spirit box. Next set of spirit box, what do we have? So we have the Ouija board, and where's my word list? Who has that? Elaina. So the 2 of you are going to be kind of almost in tandem.
Just popped up.
Yeah. So you're going to be looking for Eliza's initials in order. No anagram, no word scramble. ELP. You hopefully will be finding what the L means. So I'm not going to tell you what that is, and the reason why is because the Eliza I just talked about is the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. The first wife, Eliza, also had a maiden name that started with the letter L. You're going to find out which one. You're going to hopefully get the initials. Does that make sense? Any other words that are being spelled out, please let me know. So the 2 of you, so Trenton and Dena, getting good with names. So the 2 of you are going to have the same set of questions as well, just based on type of spirit box. The mansion's not here anymore. ask what happened to it. If you get an answer, we will commonly get 2 to 3 numbers of the exact date of when that occurred. So again, it's not like simple numbers either. I'm just going to point that out. So again, keep in mind you guys could be getting answers from any other device of all the questions that I went out there for. If you go rogue with questions, be respectful, no yes, no questions. I will not I won't write down yes, no answers, just so you guys know. Have a conversation and it's more conversational, I can see that, but yes and no, I throw them out. The word Charleston, you're listening to Charleston radio stations. I will not be writing down the word Charleston or the numbers 843 because that is our area code. Okay, so kind of keep those in mind too. But as far as that goes, I am going to keep Rachel behind. So I can teach her more about that device. Everybody else, we're going to spread out. Please stay away from the 5 to 6 cars that we have left in here, meaning do not go anywhere near those vehicles whatsoever. So just kind of work around them. And then I do 1 or 2 round robins with you guys based on what's going on with your device. I take a few notes and I regroup us and give you all of the answers and show you how what you found pieces this puzzle together. Does that make sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. All right, everybody spread out. Besides Rachel, you're going to stick with me. Yes, please.
All right. We've got video and audio.
Alright, so...
Hi, Eliza, first of all.
Eliza.
We're happy to be with you today.
We are. We're very happy. We're trying to find out what the L stands for. The garden that grew things, and the word grew came up, so very good job communicating. Maybe we should ask you more seriously. Eliza.
What's your middle name? Is it something historic from Charleston, like Legree, or something English? Something that's related to one of us?
Could be. We've got a lot of Charles going on here.
We're behind an old church. Did you go to this church? What was it called then?
Reading?
Was it a library? Was it not always a church? Did you read the Bible there?
Library. No.
That's your name is not library.
I know. Reading. Alright.
Conservation and reading. Are there books about you that we should know about? Is there a title of a book you can share?
Respectfully, give us anything else. Anything.
I feel like there's too many lights here for me to get anything. I'm gonna go over by the gate where the house was. Henry?
Very specific name.
Can you share if that was your son or brother?
Who's Henry?
A friend? Can you give us a keyword? If it was brother,
Who
lover?
is Henry, Eliza?
Mm-hmm.
Cracking me up.
How
should I hold it? Yeah,
it doesn't have to be up?
No, it doesn't have to be up.
Okay,
So nice,
cool.
nice and straight. You know, a lot of times I'll even tell you to like go ahead and do the belly shot.
Okay.
Just because sometimes people are like, I mean, we look like YouTubers out here, let's
I
face
know,
it.
it's funny.
So when we're like out like this, and
They might freak out.
Exactly. So even a belly shot, like we've still caught things, even though you might not be paying full attention to this. It's okay. It's going to YouTube.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And this thing records in 4K. Like it is crystal freaking clear.
Cool.
But I just thought it was kind of funny. Like you've been like this almost the whole time. I'm like, holy shit, I got to talk to her first. So whose idea was this between the two of you?
So Elena's visiting me from Boston, and
Okay.
she loves it. She did UFO night watching in Arizona. She always finds this type of thing to do.
Nice.
And I like it too, so
Cool.
mostly hers.
Cool.
And she lives in a very haunted house in Lexington, Massachusetts. Like her house is undeniably
we all do.
haunted. Hers is, stuff moves all the time
Pretty
in her
legit,
son's
huh?
room, pretty legit.
Some
So
video of that shit then.
no, she has it. She has it
Love
all.
to see it.
Yeah. So I think she's gonna pick up more between the two of them.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I want to hear more, but I do want to
Oh my
follow
gosh,
up with all
yeah,
these people.
interesting.
I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure Dena is Dena getting the gist of how to listen to that. Are you getting it?
Yeah, I mean, is it supposed to record it in it? No. I picked blips, but no, I heard it.
You're back on.
Thank you.
Yep. That's why you guys keep me around. What have we heard?
Row?
You didn't find the middle name?
Reading or Henry. Ask. Oh, no, that never. Reading Henry.
You hit the little white box to the right,
Yeah.
and you can scroll through it.
Oh, sweet.
Just don't hit the red X's because it takes it out of the list.
Yep.
Gagging. We were talking about somebody who got shot in the neck. I like it. I don't know who Connor is yet. Ringer's good. Henry. I don't know. I gotta look into that one. Just because I don't see anything else that's relevant to. There is a Pinckney named Henry. He was like the great nephew of Eliza.
Okay.
Somewhere in that bracket, and I hear from him at another location once we get closer to his grave, but not a whole lot. So I'm just surprised. Sorry, knowing the history around town is almost a curse.
Yeah, yeah.
So you really have to try to that's a stretch. That might be something. That might not be. But reading is good. So I mean, it's obviously Eliza was a teacher. Like she was involved with the John Locke idea of tabula rasa, which is basically kind of like empty mind. By your you kind of see my mom.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've already had that. Yep. What's going on?
Your night fishing dog was pretty good out here too.
Oh.
Are you hungry? Are you sick of smelling the restaurants all the time?
You're very knowledgeable.
I know.
I guess she's not 50, huh?
I guess
Liza, how old were you when you died?
Are you like actually old? It's like 90, 80,
Were you like
22?
Oh, 1, 2. Henry. I like the name Henry.
I love that name.
I told Ryan that he should name the boy Henry.
The boy.
The boy. But he said, we like the name.
Theo.
There's no good nickname for it.
Hank.
Chuck and Hank.
No, Theo's cute.
This was her house.
Her house is here, or her house is like across the street?
I think this was her garden.
Oh.
Her garden. Does it make you angry, Eliza, that they turned your garden into a parking lot?
And they charge $33? Because that makes me angry.
It makes me a little bit.
Feels a little disrespectful.
Agreed. Would you agree?
Now I'm gonna want to go down a rabbit hole of figuring out who these people are.
We're gonna get.
There's probably. I'm gonna be ordering some books tonight.
There's gonna be I don't know, someone in that footage. You're gonna get the best shit I bet.
I don't know. I don't see anything. They never make themselves apparent to me.
He was funny when he said he didn't sit down. That's lame. These people are hungry at all. But he's a cynic. He's a cynic. I don't think that I could own these devices because they would take over the day.
Yeah, they would. You'd be doing it every single day.
Yeah. Have time.
I mean, this could be you around Lexington and Concord. You literally could. I don't know, you should. Just order the shit and just books a person.
I don't know the answer, but I am
Smell what? It's supposed to smell like sweet or anything?
flowers.
Okay. Who else? Any words being spelled out?
No, just green words, but no vowels. So.
Staying in that range though, so. And you got anything else?
Absolutely.
So at this location, I normally look for an 8 or above because the lamppost will give us a little bit of EMF from where we're standing. I always choose the spot here by the gate. We were on that.
I heard something like take care of that.
Take care. Anybody else with communication? We got.
My wrist and cast.
Give me the last 4 or 5 terms.
Smell it.
Okay.
Chant.
I don't have to write yours down. It's doing it for me. I'm just listening to it.
Oh, sorry. Chant. Mentor.
Okay.
Recuse.
I had that term here before. Those of you with cameras, obviously get them up and running, but you don't need to keep them on me in here, especially with yours, Corey, because there's enough foliage in here to get the hot cold between the break and the foliage. But again, if people are going to be cutting through us, even just regular passing by, just kind of meet the street. We just look to see like what they just did for us, and I will pause and step backwards so they can pass through. Just be discreet with your cameras, even if you point them down. Perfectly fine. What's my
Right here.
No. She's wearing dark clothing and face the opposite way. I'm like, I know we're missing something. So, Kayla, we are going to completely understand if you just grab the handle and point it down when people pass by.
Okay.
So, that gentleman that was just up there, by the way, my first thought when we walked through that was like, okay, I'm sold out, which means we get the extra 4 people that wanted to do this. So I'm just kind of dragging on this a little bit. Which, again, we normally run into groups like 20 or more from some of the competitors around here. We're not seeing those folks down here tonight. I'm actually shocked. And I don't time this, so it's a matter of, we just go from space to space. I'm sorry, Trent, I didn't ask you to be here.
How quiet it is?
I did not.
Sorry, you're super quiet too.
It just got really quiet.
So whenever I'm going over history, I am going to ask you to mute. My ear is trained to listen to that, and I will get lost in where I'm at with the. No, you're good. Don't apologize. You didn't know. It's okay. It's just I'm the weirdo guy, where I'm like all I want to do is listen to white noise and static.
Question: do you get anything on here that says something and he says it immediately back?
Sometimes.
I had that earlier with Better Business. Well, it wasn't like immediate.
Well, this one,
but it said
it just said things are great. Things are great.
So here's an example, because I did study radio waves in school too. So 106.1 and 106.2 are basically the same station, but one's on a delay. That's why you're getting that little bit of a double feature kind of mentality. So it is the same station. That's why I always look for things that are, if it's a disembodied voice, I try to make sure it's at least 5 radio station pulses to make sure it's not the same thing going over again and not a DJ.
Yeah, mine did it the rounds.
Yeah.
So each round.
Yeah, and a lot of times people are like, oh, I just heard AC/DC, and then 2 minutes later they heard it again. I'm like, yeah, it's going through every station thousands of times for you. They're like, why is it on every station? I'm like, it's not, it's the same station. But anyway, so let's talk about why we're here. So this is Philadelphia Alley. This used to be called Jewelers Alley. This used to be Trey basically had some of the jewels here for Charleston. And I say some because it was illegal. You had to find hiding spots. This just happened to be one of them. Every good store, like I said, tells the same story. I'm going to give you different details. Let's kind of get into it. So go ahead and do a hard reset there for me, Rachel, because you're going to be looking for the initials RI. It's going to make sense here in just a minute.
Okay.
So doctor moves down here. He comes down here from Rhode Island with the first RI. So he comes down here because his name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Those of you listening to Spirit Boxes right now, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, Dr. Ladd moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She's an attorney, helping her out with all of this cash. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after her money, so he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. He comes here to Charleston to prove that he's not after the money. He's going to make his own. So he comes down, and he's going to start a medical practice. But the coachman that he had that brought him in set him up to be robbed and killed. It's like having a really bad Uber driver on their phone all the time, right? Like what we just saw. So anyway, somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen. He knew the coachman and what he was going to try to do to this newcomer coming to Charleston. The person walking by, his name was Ralph Isaacs. Sound familiar with the initials? It's exactly why I bought the device that Rachel's holding. We were getting the letters RI, like people trying to spell out like victorious, and I would only get the RI part of it, so I wanted to verify it. So I got a new device. That's what I do. So we've gotten it about half a dozen times in the year that I've had it whenever I bring up Ralph's name. So again, these are the things that I look at, just so you know how detailed I get with some of these stories. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. We're going to go to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from these friends of mine, and you'll be safe. Doc took him up on the offer. Two gentlemen become friends. As long as the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down so they can be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is part of the reason why I hate this damn story. It's a cliche. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. There's some legitimacy to this one, and this guy just won't leave me alone. I will explain here in just a few minutes. This was actually the space I was going to take out this year. But again, I just keep getting too much of this guy. So anyway, back to Dr. Ladd. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money than Ralph. He gets better seats. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. They talk about these plays that they go to see on their way home. And one night they go see Richard III from Shakespeare, and Dr. Ladd is arguing that the new actress he just saw was fantastic. Ralph disagreed, thought she was horrible. Argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island, and it got really ugly. They went their separate ways. Now, Ralph has friends around town. He goes to the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston to put new things to the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. The doc saw the ad and we got over with, let's go to Doolittle Alley. Let's settle this. Somebody's gonna die. Yeah, all this over an actress, by the way. Just gonna point that out. So the two gentlemen came down, back to back, 10 paces away. Turn, Doc points his gun in the air, shoots his one shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage to show up to a fight, which is often what happened at a duel. Ralph has his one bullet still. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die, but Ralph took his point. He's not gonna forgive. He's still pissed. Doc fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later after refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. I say that date kind of slowly because I'm going to point out two things. 1786. Gunshot wounds back then are a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. But obviously, he failed because he died. And every ghost story that comes down here tells you to listen for the whistles. You hear how quiet it is? It's always like this. This is a busy Saturday night. It's like this on a Saturday afternoon. It's actually one of my most favorite places in all of Charleston because it's so tranquil. Now, if you're going to try this on your own, which by the way, we are running 3 video cameras plus my voice recorder, if we're going to get a whistle, disembodied whistle, it's going to come through on one of those 4 devices. Spirit boxes, especially the one that's recording. And then I get the recordable one too, so that would be magic. So it's not uncommon for me to get the whistling part of a song and then the word doctor from a commercial immediately after. I don't find that coincidental, especially since it's happened dozens of times in the 4 years I've been coming here. You have anything weird going on? I kind of had this weird story about it.
I just got an R, but no I yet.
No I yet. Okay. So anyway, if you're going to try this on your own and walk all the way through and try to get the whistles from the voice recorders on your phone, just keep in mind that every local knows this damn story, and anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I do it every single day. My garage used to be over there, and my office is up this way. So at 4 in the morning, when I'm done with your guys' data, uploading it, I would always walk past and upload, or throw, I was going to say upload a whistle to the alley.
I heard it too.
I thought it was you whistling.
I thought it was
Is it a bird?
No.
No. It was like right behind
Yeah.
us and this behind this. I literally thought it was her.
It was just as you said people do it as a joke.
Who was recording?
We both went.
Yeah, because we were. I was like,
Heard it.
and they
heard it.
I heard it too, but I could have swore.
I thought it was
No.
you.
It was Elaina.
I thought it was her too.
I thought it was her too, but it was right
Is
after you
this
said
all-
that. I was like, oh, someone's being funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Gee, that thing? Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about the same thing, right?
Yeah, right behind
It
you.
was like a, yeah.
And what's
Almost like a
weird is
whistling,
there shouldn't be
chittering.
anybody on the other side of this wall because it's locked up. It belongs to the church.
That's what I was gonna ask if anybody could
Nope.
be
I
on the
was
other
just about
side.
to ask that, too.
It's actually gated off. It's a courtyard for the church.
Did you get that?
Well, we have it all
Oh,
on
we're
audio.
climbing.
Got
We're
enough things
climbing.
recording.
Yeah.
We went 4, 5, 6.
Again, above an 8 is where I get excited.
This is 4.1. Is it because of you said the lights?
Usually the lamps will give us up to like a 7, so I go straight to an 8.
Oh,
Like
okay.
where I'm gonna like count that as like maybe being paranormal.
Okay.
But I also throw a whistle down this alley every time I walk by, whether it's day or night, because I've been thrown out of here. Let's talk about that.
Oh dear.
So this will
How
also
you get
show
thrown out of an alley?
You'll see. Now, the alley didn't go all the way through this way before it was Dueler's Alley. There was a wall halfway between where we're standing and Cumberland Street. The reason why is because this used to be called Cow Alley before it was Dueler's Alley. So that means they kept all the livestock down here, cows, chickens, and goats. So it was nicknamed Cow Alley. What does that mean for you? That means that the bricks down on the other side are older than the ones you're standing on. Those bricks down by Queen Street, actually sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child in one of those bricks down there, fingerprint swipes in others. I used to take my groups down there for a history lesson. There's nothing paranormal about it. Remember, I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That kid's not going to be there. It's the last place you're going to find him. November 26th, 2020. Told my group, just pass by it. I'll point out where it is. You guys want to take a quick picture, but we're going to keep moving. Maybe not keep moving. We stood around it. Big giant circle of 10 people waiting for something to happen from their gear, even though I told them nothing's going to happen. Well, I was also trying to be respectful to the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley because we were standing right outside his dining room window. He came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great. She was on the tour that night. Her dad's getting yelled at. She's all about it. She thought it was hysterical. So we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on major holidays because I worked for Walmart for over 10 years in upper management. You guys all like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving. It scarred me for life about working on Thanksgiving. So I moved on. The next day was the 28th. I called my partner that I did have at the time. I told him what happened. He's the guy I'm learning about tourism from. And he's laughing at me too. He's just like my daughter did. He's like, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. Otherwise, it's residential. Reroute that group. I'm sold out again, guys. It's Black Friday. Here's what I told my group. I don't believe in the next story. I'm into vampires, not pirates. Obviously, we're discussing pirates next. And I'm like, I've never had anything happen over there. I've been there dozens of times. Got nothing. So we're going to go over there. We'll talk about pirates, and we'll see what we can get. Well, before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be looking at. You think mainly Blackbeard and all of the majors, right? We're going to be discussing Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. So it's kind of like, oh shit, maybe we're going to get something. We get over there. I told them the little bit I did know. Remember, there's only a few hours to do quick research, so I can continue on. Somebody else, here's the number 300. I don't know what that one means. Wrote it down, do the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. The exact 300th year anniversary of her piracy. So, I normally get the woes and the wows. I was actually pissed off. Let me explain. First off, I've already told you about it. I wasn't into pirates. I can't say that now. But the problem for me is that I have a master's degree in creative writing. No matter what I'm writing, whether it be fiction, nonfiction, journalism, and when I'm doing this, I need facts and data to be able to interpret what's going on. Pirate stories come from pirate lore that happened, that was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a problem for me. It means I have to read more damn books to verify the shit we're catching. So that's a big problem. I've read more books on pirates, watched more documentaries, and even played video games to get a different version of the story. So where we're going is a minimum of 2 resources of everything that will fall out of my mouth when we get over there. Just so you guys know, I am still researching pirates to this very day and how to debunk some of the legends and lore around them. It is a fun story, and we will be able to spread out like what we did at the Pinkley Mansion site, just so you guys have that idea. We will hopefully get things from Dr. Ladd here from the alley as well, so kind of keep that in mind. Now, before we leave the space, I also like to explain the gate behind me. This gate, just to also show you the extent of my research. I told you there was a wall up here, right? So if there was a loser to the duel over this way, this was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of that wall. Otherwise, they gotta walk all the way down to Queen Street and double back with a dead body before they can go celebrate the winner with a pint. So I like to call this the Death Gate. Even though the wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, you guys can see that the original archway to the doorway is original to the alley itself. There's also other rumors for you locals here in the group that Andrew Jackson actually had a duel down here. I can find nothing on that rumor in myth and legend. I was very intrigued by it, but I could find no research or data from it whatsoever. Not to mention, I mean, the dude was a president. They're going to hide that kind of shit, right? So we're going to scramble in front of this group here, and we're going to go learn about pirates. So, rated R pirates, by the way. Does anybody know the joke? If a pirate's favorite letter isn't R, what is it? What else have we heard along the way here? Did we get anything?
I just got help, but you said you were
Somebody else heard help too.
supposed to help, like, right in front of us.
Okay. Anybody else got anything relevant to help?
I just, like I said, that help was like in between stuff. Like,
Read those numbers. What else we got?
June. Tribal. Pound. Terrain. Context. Lights. Food. Road. Champion.
Champion makes sense because we just started Google down.
Right.
The June, oh, I'm waiting for something else. Nothing. Okay.
While I was over there, candy, extension, additional, leaded, canned, white, exposed.
Leaded?
leaded.
Leaded.
Leaded? Leaded? Leaded?
That's leaded, right?
That's probably why he tried to lead with the bullet, because he just already had lead poisoning.
Oh, right.
I'm wondering if that would have been a phrase that they would have had instead of lead poisoning. They may have said leaded.
Can we Google it?
I will for sure. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that term on it. That's what. Okay, I'll be keeping an eye on the June. I'm not going to tell you guys why just yet, especially considering the crowd that I have here tonight, until we get something else relevant to it. The only reason why is because I know one of you is pregnant, and I don't always bring up the story, especially when there's somebody pregnant in the group. So, unless something else definitely pops up, and Tori's looking around like, holy shit, what is happening?
Like, it wasn't me.
You were the one, man. Sorry. Wow. So, with that said, let's talk about why we're here. Did you guys notice the tiny little building right here? Alright, that's the powder magazine. Okay, we are here because of the crosses you see on the building. Those are not crosses. If you don't know what those are, they're earthquake bolts. So, in essence, if we have another earthquake, you can tighten those because they're turnbuckles, and it tightens the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. Exactly what those are. You beat me to the punch. Love it. So I usually point out you guys have been seeing them all over town in like lion heads and pineapples and shit like this because it's just part of the Charleston charm. Right? It's just what we do. So again, it just doesn't work. Californians usually laugh their asses off at me whenever I bring them up because they know it doesn't work. It's an old ass technology with which I might use. But those right there compared to the one behind me, that's obviously very crude kind of operation, right? That's the reason why we're here. That's the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is it's the oldest government building in South Carolina. So, it was finished in 1713. This is what I call a familiar. What do I mean by that? This building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start a new life. This building is from her era. You guys all watch the TV shows and YouTubers. You guys have seen the Boo Buddy. I know you have. It's the teddy bear with the little blinky like K2 meter in it. If a child ghost comes near it, they would recognize it as a toy. Think of that concept with this building. We don't have any buildings this old, let alone in Charleston, but in South Carolina. So this is just something Anne would recognize as being from her era. So let's kind of get into this. The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government, small building, 10 years? Sorry. Sometimes people take that like a little like, stop talking about the government. So I'm glad you didn't, so I appreciate that. FBI agents do not like my government jokes, just so you guys know. I've had them on the tour. But anyway, so 1708 is where our history begins. I will speed through this one so we can get to work, but I will slow down on the few piratey female twists that will show up. And it's right at the beginning. So 1708, a young lady moves here with her father from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her dad and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. You guys with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
The three of them running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed off was the wife that she kicked them out of the country. So I know they make a joke that be nice to your lady, she'll kick you all the way to Canada. So by airplane, that's a luxury they didn't have back in 1708. They came here by boat. They landed in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach, in case you don't know our coast. Dad bought a plantation up there, and Mom died pretty quickly. It means Dad is now sending young Anne down here from Georgetown to sell things from the plantation to help keep it going. Now, Anne back home in Ireland, we're going to take a step backwards for 2 seconds just to show you her mentality. They say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly when Anne is only 7, 8, or 9 years old. So kind of put that mentality of her in your brain as we kind of go through this. Do you know this story already, Taylor? You're nodding your head like...
No, I'm just like, wow.
Oh, there's a lot more coming. Hang on.
Tracks.
Yep.
Hopefully you got a no shit mark because it's coming. Now, fast forward, the building's done in 13, but by 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. She's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at that point. So, the first guy she fell in love with, and I said it slowly because there's a handful. We're covering them all, just so you know. That's what makes the story so good. The first guy happens to be James Bonney. You already know where this is going. I told you her pirate name already. Dad didn't approve. He's a filthy pirate. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married. Anne Cormac is now Anne Bonney. We're obviously talking about an Irish woman the day before St. Patrick's Day, by the way. So it might be an interesting piece. So when they get down there, she realizes her new husband is not the Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This isn't who she wanted. She falls in love again. Guy number 2, John Rackham. Everybody calls this guy Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who this guy really is. Calico Jack has his own ship, he has his own crew. You can't put a female on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why?
See a lot of baby pirates?
A bunch of baby pirates. I like how you tried to put it family friendly. That's the first time it's ever happened. And I'm like, I'm not answering that dirty question. This is guy. It's bad luck. You guys are overthinking it. And that's the reason why I do it, to make sure everybody's still paying attention. So thank you for the laugh. We all appreciate it. So it is bad luck. So Jack makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy, look like the crew, you can be part of the crew. She's okay with this. The reason why? Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. But let's all put 2 and 2 together. She is a female in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant and have little baby pirates. So before she starts to show her pregnancy, you can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew, by the way. Like, somebody will figure it out and they'll get rid of Jack the captain. So before she starts to show, he drops her off to Cuba. Have the baby over here with these friends of mine. They'll help you out and come back later. We'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby, returns without a child. We have no idea what happens with the baby, by the way. None of my research has ever discovered it. But she comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty pissed off. To make her even more pissed off, she's going to go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. They're down below deck. They don't know who Anne is. So, with that, we're on guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured. So now we have 2 females dressed like males on the same ship. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. So, her and Mary became friends, maybe lovers, we're not really sure because of the time frame. But the British find out where they are. They send a whole fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. Rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1 bullet flintlocks, because obviously they don't know how to use cannons yet. Now, 2 ladies with 1 bullet guns are not going to take on a whole fleet of baby ships with cannons. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, Anne looks at her captain in bow, Calico Jack. She says, "Jack, I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you would be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up in communication quite a bit. We actually had something very interesting show up. I'll tell you guys about that like after we're kind of wrapping things up, because I don't want to spoil anything. But the dog piece is very interesting. Now the judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates. They're dead and gone. So the 2 ladies go in front and reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves, and the judge could give a shit that they are female. They are still pirates. He's still going to hang them. So they scream out, "We plead our bellies," which means they're claiming to be pregnant. You can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4. We're going to count Mary. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Very pirate here. Let's not speculative fiction. We can assume a lot of things. We just can't prove any of it. Now, Mary Reed died 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in a Jamaican jail. Use your imagination, call it scurvy, don't care. Most books will tell you that it was like something simple like fever, and they're like, let's make it romantic, let's make it scurvy. Now, I'm not going to control this environment like what we did over there at the Pinckney Mansion site with the prominent English lady, right? So this is a pirate. I usually say if you brought a bottle of rum and smokes, have at it. It might attract her. I'm just going to tell you a few things that I left out. Everything else you ask is free will. Have at it. Hopefully you get a full conversation out of this. Again, this is a kick-ass pirate lady. She's not going to really care about your language either. So kind of keep that in mind. Know your ghost. That's my mentality. I did not tell you the names of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and the mistress. I didn't tell you what those were, but yes, I know what their names are. The name of the city where Anne grew up in Ireland. That should be very interesting considering what day of the week we're on, right? Or the month. The name of Calico Jack's ship, and the name or the color of Anne Bonny's hair. Everything else is fair game. If you ask about the child that happened in Cuba, I can't prove anything. I don't know any of her children's names, so if you have a conversation with her, it is personal to you, and unless it's like super like lucrative and productive, I'm not going to count it as actual evidence. It'll just be your personal experience. I'm only looking for things that I can actually prove. Is that fair to everybody? All right. EMF readings. I get excited about 2.5s in here, just so you have that idea. Where am I EMF readings? Angle. Now. So, and it's usually on the back half. Parking meters and 2 electrical poles over there. I'm going to give you guys between, I would say, a 3 to a 7. So if you get closer to there and you get those kind of numbers, I'm not stoked. You get above like a double digit, I'm stoked. Back here, you get a 2.5, I'm super stoked. You should be getting 0s while you've been in here, which is weird because the Earth gives off EMF. We should be getting at least a 1, but we're not. So this is just a weird space. And again, I'll do my round robin with us here, and I'll know pretty quickly based on what's going on, like what's actually happening, if we have anybody, or if Dr. Ladd followed us over here. So kind of keep that in mind as well. All right, guys, spread out. Let's get to work. Do it. Wim?
She's a pirate. Just gonna love our nice diamond rings.
I don't know if that would have been a turn.
Bet you're jealous, Anne.
And
These cost a pretty penny, and they're pretty sparkly.
Anne, would you steal my ring?
And your necklace. And my ring. They're real diamonds, like natural diamonds, like not that lab shit, man. You might want it.
Yeah. You want this ring? I'm not a stranger, Anne. You're a stranger.
You also have to think, like, how dirty
Filthy.
being on a pirate ship would have been.
Yeah. Was it?
Like, why would
On
you
that
want
ship?
to be on the ship?
And when back then,
Oh my
did
god.
the guys
What'd you do? Just
smell?
let it sit in there?
Did it just like, was it just like gross?
Was it brown?
Filthy? Like,
Literally brown cum.
like these people just like didn't.
Well, neither did she.
Was it bad? You have to be honest. Was the smell bad?
Bad.
Yeah.
Also, think about it. If you're a woman on a pirate ship, like, you're probably having sex with a few different people a day. Like, it's all just mixing in there. Like, whose kid was it?
And where did it go? Oh,
She
the first
definitely
one.
just left it. She just left it.
In a ditch?
No,
Maybe
like,
it
probably
died.
with the
Maybe it was
people.
stillbirth.
Probably just with the people.
Where'd your baby go?
And it probably just lived like it grew up thinking it was Cuban. Like, you can't bring a kid on a pirate ship. Like, that is just baggage. And I don't blame
Yeah.
her. Like, I would do the
Yeah.
same thing.
But like, why would you go back to being a
Oh,
pirate?
morning sickness on a pirate ship?
Did you
I
even
feel bad about it.
love
I
your
feel bad
baby,
for you.
Anne?
Okay, you're...
Did you love your baby?
I think that baby was an accident.
You left the baby. Why did you leave the baby?
You
It's just a baby.
I think
At least
it
let
had a
us
better
know if
life in
it's
Cuba. I think it had a better life in
safe.
Cuba.
At least let us know if it was safe. Yeah.
Why did you come back here, though? Did you like it in Charleston?
Was there good getting here?
Or just a good port city with rich people?
Strange us.
I don't know if she likes us very much.
I don't know. I've always wanted to know. Things that really stink, man.
But you don't know that it stinks because you stink.
I know when I stink.
Right, but like, because you know that you can take a shower. There's no showering. That's so vile. Like, the armpit hair,
Oh, the leg hair.
the pubic hair, your vaginal hair. Nobody's wiping.
No.
Who's wiping?
Nobody's wiping. It's just shit.
Ew, that is so nasty.
Leah.
Oh.
And don't do this.
2 A's? I think that's too ethnic of a name to be relevant. No.
Did you name her baby Leah?
Oh.
Did you name your baby Elaina? Is that a Cuban name?
No.
That's not Cuban.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm catching something else and it just kind of comes out dry.
Read it backwards.
Hey,
Halia? 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 Halia. It could be something jumbled.
Yeah.
And she's just like fucking with you. Because you're fucking with her.
What else? What else can you tell us, Dean?
Right, this building is old and pretty freaky. Anyone call this their old stomping grounds? They want to come say hello? It's a pretty popular night in the city. What'd you get? Oh, she liked your lifestyle, maybe.
Choice, yeah.
It is absolutely a
It is
choice.
a choice, and good job. Never embarrassed.
It's kind of crazy that all these places are now just parking lots.
Shut.
I wonder if that makes people angry. It's like it used to be a house or that nobody thinks twice about. It smells bad.
Yeah.
It smells like pee. Like really bad. Is that her? We were just talking about how bad she would have smelled.
I know.
And it didn't smell before.
That's exactly.
It did not
No.
smell when I was over here before.
It really smells like.
It, like,
somebody
really
just
smells like-
urinated all over the place.
And we didn't see anybody come over
Yeah,
here.
was that you?
That's like rude. No, maybe that was just what she smelled
I
like.
want to see that word
Elaina.
list.
Oh, maybe that is what she smells.
Here you go.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Oh, look at that. Cow alley. Cows. Actually, that's me excited, by the way. We only get the word cow when we're near the alley. Just
Yeah.
so you know. Like, that's the
Cool.
only, and it doesn't just show up here. It shows
Yeah.
up on other devices too. And I don't always tell, like, the cow alley bit.
Yeah.
So that way they're not looking for it.
Uh-huh.
So nothing else on here like really makes super sense. I was waiting for something to tie into that June. We do
Yeah.
have Matthew has the death date of Anne.
Oh, wow.
You got it?
He's like damn close. He heard April 2nd, and it was April 22nd.
Okay.
So I was looking to see if like maybe you had the number 20, so forth and so on.
At Kim.
I don't know.
That's too modern,
We're
I
also
think.
next to a cemetery.
Oh, true.
That's true.
So
That's
sometimes
why
if you get a
shovel.
little bit of bleed over,
Yeah.
unless you get like a last name over here, like that Connor that showed up,
Yeah.
I would look up to see if there was a Kim Connor buried here. Like that's kind of how I look at that.
Got it.
But other than that, like I'm not gonna just look for random Kimberleys and say, look at all these Kimberleys that could have been from. Like,
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
a full name.
Yeah.
Or a number that would make sense. So
Ooh.
if we had numbers that didn't make sense to me for the Aunt Bonnie bit or Dr. Ladd, I would say, okay, here's Kim with April 2nd. Let's see if we can find a correlation to that with St. Philip's Aunt's
That's a great word.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that on there in a long time, actually.
When
So,
it
there's 9,100 words in that thing.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of words,
It's
man.
the paid version, but it's,
Worth it.
I mean, for $3 for life, yes.
Yeah.
It's a great supplement. This is actually usually the second communicator that I bring out. When, let's say it was just the two of you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You would probably have a thermal imaging camera. You would have a headset at Spirit Box, and I'm going to carry that in an EMF meter, like just so we have something well rounded.
Yeah.
But that is always like if my wife says no ghost hunting gear on vacation,
You're like-
I have my phone, like because that's on my phone too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Now I kind of want to buy this.
I think you should for your house. Well, you will.
So when you guys get your report back,
Yeah.
at the top of it is a link to a field guide. The field guide shows you how to watch and do, like go through all of your media.
Yeah.
But I also have a list of all of the apps that I trust because I
Yeah,
do test a
cool.
lot of them. There's free versions of all of them.
Yeah.
But there's always, and I just did an
You know I'm gonna
episode
go
on the
into
podcast about
Yeah.
apps because a lot of people question them.
Yep.
So I did a pros and cons of a lot of the apps that I use.
Cool.
So
Oh, I'm using them. Abyss.
Astral and Abyss,
and
like that's
Abyss.
kind of like polar opposite, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody's.
What are you doing?
It's
What
kinda how I
are
feel
you
about
doing?
that.
What are you
Yeah.
doing? When it gets really, really like.
It just means it growls and does all kinds of stupid shit. It's just part of the aesthetic. It's meant to try to scare you.
Okay.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like that's why it goes
Yeah.
like red.
So that
and
actually
whatever.
means
Sometimes it
nothing.
even vibrates. I mean, you have a battery
Yeah.
pack attached to the back of it
Yeah.
in case it dies. But
But
if
this
you,
really doesn't mean anything. This is just making.
it just means it's about to tell you a word. That's all it is.
Okay.
It recognized something and is about to give it to you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you can buy all the apps now and sit in your basement all day long.
Literally gonna sit in my basement
Like,
all
why do
day
you keep
long.
moving,
I'm
Charlie?
gonna have
Stop.
to. I'm gonna have to
Like, please.
go back to my name thing and put sedentary.
Yes.
Oh. Actually, what town are you from?
Or what county? Because it could have just been a county.
Yeah.
Clare, Killarney, County Dublin, Galway. I'm from, where am I from? Dingle?
I was like, okay, aren't you?
That's where Northern is.
Right.
Where you got your fighting nature. Ugh.
Shit in the woods.
Right, that's exactly what I said. I was like, alright.
Oh my god, I forgot you did that.
Shit in the woods?
Yes.
I forgot about your wellness retreat.
Oh, my wellness retreat? Yeah, that was really fun.
He's like
Ireland.
freezing cold.
I do love it there, but that was uncool.
It's recorded because I was like, I need to write it down. There's so many words coming through.
Me too.
I think it's really fun that it's not really we keep trying to serve a guy and then right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be about what
Later.
later.
Because we also don't know what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I truly don't think I've seen anything through this, but I could
But
not
you
know
look-
what I'm looking
yeah,
for.
you're not looking.
Right, I'm looking up. I'm not, like, looking in,
Yeah.
in the little camera screen.
Alright, who else has a communication device? Where are we at? Angel, anything?
She's in the zone. Said she's in the zone. She's texting. Does not like.
No, it's
Yeah, gotta be in the zone.
I'm in the zone.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah. We're in the zone. We're in the zone. This is a whole new start to a fucking journey. It's a project.
Yeah.
Pretty much. We have the skills, we're doing a project.
Social studies, history.
Social studies and history. Still want to figure out what your parents' names were, though. Definitely not Aaliyah. Sorry, Aaliyah.
Not Kim either.
Not Kim. Not Kimberly. Not Aaliyah. What's your mom's name? What's
Maybe
the
she-
mistress name?
The mistress is her mom. I
Oh,
thought.
right. Sorry. What's
Are you ashamed and that's why you don't want to tell us? You're like a little like embarrassed about that.
Is it like a simple name like Mary?
I want to be the best mom. I want to be.
Elaina, come have a seat.
Oh, here we go.
You are actually going to hand off your word list over to Miss Dena, because she cannot use that while we're going through this session. So she's going to need something to do. So hand off your word list device to Miss Dena, and I'll take yours here.
As soon as we left the last location, I got a very stern squish. And, what was it again? A-N. No, that was like dead. I got dead too.
Dead. Yep. What you got? Yep. Writing this down. Anybody else got anything weird eating that space or something here?
You got just a lot of stuff going here.
As soon as we walked in, I said to him, I either got horse or horse, and then it clarified it was horse.
Horse.
Yep.
If it's dead, and kind of explain how this is going to go. So I'm going to hand you to the equipment that we're going to be using. Guarding, I'm going to ask that you don't put it on, because I'm going to take the rest of these folks over to that monument. If I'm blindfolding women and walking away, this doesn't look good in case somebody's coming in the car. Just don't put anything on until we come back. When I hand over this equipment, you guys are just going to become besties for 5 minutes, and I want to keep you in the dark literally of what's going on. Looking for it, don't want you searching for anything. My phone's not in there yet, Elaina's still. I usually wait until the last minute to put my phone in there because my wife will sometimes will just put it up there, send me some pictures. I don't need them showing up through the goggles, and I'm like, oh.
She's a little excited. She's like, let me have your phone.
And I usually tell the gentlemen that are in, like, if you're using it, I'm like, don't worry, guys, my wife is on. Like, okay, tell us what you think. And my wife knows I make these jokes. She doesn't give a shit. But anyway, so that is an origami project, by the way, so just to figure it out, for those of you. Okay, cool. If not, I got more, don't worry about it. And it's disposable. Keep your own eye boogers. Same way Kurt's going to keep his own earwax. Trent, did you hear anything along the way?
I do not.
It's too quiet, man. Like, I keep turning around, like, did you get anything? Did you get anything? And then he's like, where the hell's Trent? So, when we come back, I'll kind of give you guys a few tips and tricks of what to expect. That works like a back end.
Okay.
I got one. Happens all the time. So the rest of us, let's go learn this very quick history, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit. So, I guess first and foremost, I should thank you all for making me talk all night because my mouth actually feels perfectly fine. So it's probably going to start swelling back up again when I get back to the office. What was funny was I shut up all damn day. I haven't talked all day unless I had to call one of the dogs. I told the wife, don't even call me on your lunch break. I got to keep my mouth perfectly fine for the force. Of course, I don't work on drunken holidays, so don't work tomorrow. So you guys can have fun getting trashed. But anyway, so you guys are all going to play a role when we get over there. Obviously, the communication devices, you're going to be listening in and watching what's going on with them. So with yours, you're going to definitely keep your camera on them the entire time.
Okay.
You're going to have the best shot because you're not going to have the stickman and the heat signature.
Yeah.
But that way they can watch it later. They're not going to get this history from me tonight. You're going to have to wait for the audio. so you know, because I know Katrina's going to be asking me questions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, nope, you're going to, I'm like, nope, you got to wait for it. When we do get things over there, if you hear something or something pops up on there, it's okay to tell me what you've heard. I'm going to be asking them questions. You know why some of those questions are relevant, I'm about to tell you. So the first time I came into this location, this was a new spot for last year. I only had 2 people. I start usually after Halloween looking for the new space for the following year. It gives me 2 months to investigate and see what's going on. And the young lady using the spirit box heard, I told her, just tell me whatever you hear. I don't know who we're looking for. She heard the year 1828 and the name Henry. I was using the word list because there's only 2 people, and I had the name Tim. This bus behind me is Henry Timrod. He was born in 1828. I was well, hot damn, that's not those. So, we weren't even doing the episode yet. Came up with that later. Here's how this goes. Henry was a writer and he was sick for most of his life. He was old enough to go fight in the Civil War for the Confederates. Obviously being born in 1828, the Civil War was in the 1860s. He goes out to the battlefield, his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. They sent him home, knowing he was a writer, telling him to go be the voice of the war. They wanted him to tell people what was going on out there on the battlefield. And then they were writing poetry. He became known as the laureate of the Confederacy. It's a pretty prestigious title. It feels like he's doing a good thing. So, a couple years go by, he has a son. His son's name is Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve, but he does die 9 months later. I know I say that about those kids all night long. I'm so sorry about that, but it does happen. But obviously very sad for Henry and his wife Katie. So Katie, her parents are here visiting, and Henry has a friend that's from Charleston, who's another writer, and he realizes he's not writing as much. He offers him his cottage in Columbia, at the middle of the state. He says, go get back on track, man. Leave Katie behind to mourn with her parents, and just get you back. So he goes out there and he wrote his last words. His last words were, the holder of brief mortality. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain. That's what it was. He died right there, age 38. Pen in hand. Perfect way for a writer to go. We are here because of that blood stain. It looks like a man writing.
Oh, dear.
Now, with that blood stain, we do call it the blood book, and they show it 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society. But you got to be a member of the society to be able to go see it on Halloween, because that's the only day they show it. The internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you what the page looks like, and then we're going to go hopefully talk to a ghost. Henry is usually a little timid about coming out, so I usually have to kind of coach him a little bit. Kind of stroke his ego. You guys are going to see that. It's not like he can't hear me right now. Kind of keep that in mind. I'm not the guy like on TV that says, we're going to do this, and then he says, oh no! Like, they can hear us. That's the point. He knows
right as you said it, I just started.
Well, not to mention, one of the first questions I asked was, tell us about the occupation. Right. Here is your blood book. I'll zoom in on the blood stain. The beholder of brief mortality, by the way, when we get the translation of that, it basically means dear person with a short life. And then coughed and died right there on the page. So, kind of poetic all by itself, right? So, cameras with the thermal and the SLS, you can film anywhere you want to. So I'm just basically want this one focused on them two, so that way they can see what's going on when they get their pieces back. I don't separate it, so it'll just be at the end of that video. Again, you guys are going to get 3 videos as it is. Compressing all this stuff takes a little bit of time. And things like, yep, just see the head nods. Are we ready to go talk to the host? Are we ready?
Yeah.
Here before we go. Okay, let's do it. Let's get weird. How's your Batman man? Looking good. Thoroughly impressed.
I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I have 4 boys.
So normally when I go back to the office, I put this on top of the filing cabinet and forget to brush off the bottom, and it just covers the sand.
I'll remember before I get to the animal car.
Alright, so we are going to crowd around pretty tight. So if another tour is going to be coming through here, especially on drunken St. Patty's Day weekend, I don't like people trying to heckle us kind of mentality. Or the other tour is going, what the hell is Nick up to now? Okay, because not all the tours get to see me do this. Alright, so here's how this is going to go. So we're going to start off with yours. You're going to tell me literally everything you hear. In the event that you are speaking too loud, she's going to tap you on the shoulder. Quiet down. We got neighbors. I don't want to piss them off. Okay? When we're done, she's going to tap you on the leg. That means you take off your own gear and don't move. I want to make sure you're not going to be a baby giraffe.
No, I think way earlier.
Okay?
Really?
So again, it's not going to feel like 10 minutes.
20, yeah.
I keep track of this timing. It'll probably feel like 2 to 3 minutes. Again, even yes/no answers are okay in this instance because you don't know what I'm asking. I might ask the ghost if I'm wearing a black vest. I expect you to see it.
Okay.
Okay. So with yours, I would say go ahead and it's blindfold first and headphones, and then obviously we want to make sure you're not touching your volume to make sure you're cheating. You already got the point that this is going to be my phone in there, so dirty pictures, just let us know what they are. The other piece is this is not a 3D in your face, just so you have that idea. It's going to be kind of like a 2D floating. So when you do see an image, you just briefly describe it because she can't hear you. So you may be trying to talk over her kind of mentality. And if she's not saying much, I'll ask you further questions. Okay. So you're okay. You're good to go.
I'm good?
Yep.
Okay.
So it is 11:27. So I'm going to get this puppy started.
Do you care if I switch the phone?
Have at it.
Oh no, wait.
It's your night. So, Henry, if you're here, I want you to tell me something about your occupation, please. Henry, I'm setting up the green box. You're going to see like Earth floating in space, and then the picture will kind of show up right above it. Just try not to look down because it'll change the option. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
So just look straight ahead. So you already got one image coming through.
Yep.
It's going to be weird. You just have to briefly describe it once you get in there. Your focus is right here in case things are blurry. There you go. Henry, you got an image coming through. Is that relative to you, sir?
Are we starting?
Yes.
There is a woman in all black lace that looks like she's sitting at a table.
Okay. What time period is it?
Couldn't really tell ya.
Okay. Okay.
It looks like the 1800s.
Okay. So we're right on track. Henry, if you're here, give us something more about your occupation, or you can tell us the name of the person that might be in this photograph that we have from the green box.
Ooh, this is a creepy one. There is a very creepy looking man, like in a mask, and his eyebrows are straight up like he got really bad Botox.
Okay.
And then there's a woman that has black, her eyes are all black, and then under her nose is all black lipstick, black hair.
Wow. What tissue coming through?
Yeah, she is creepy.
It's weird because there are nights, guys, we haven't gotten any images at all. And then there's other nights.
I got ready to die.
Ready to die?
Ready to die.
Okay. Interesting. And then you just circle back. I want to continue trying to get answers out. Andrew, can you do me a favor? Can you just lift up her earmuffs and remind her to tell us what she's hearing?
Remember to tell us what you're hearing.
It said my name is Turlise.
Tell us in real time. Henry? Some people forget that I'm not asking them to remember everything for 10 minutes. I want it in real time.
Nature.
There we go. She's too loud. Turn my shoulder. Henry, let's get something about your work.
Given unto you.
Well, we do have your work. It's actually here at the library. Can you tell us what they like to show on Halloween?
Now?
Right now. Ask us about your work. So we have the word right. That makes sense, even though it's out of context. Henry, can you explain who this woman is in these images that we're getting out of the green box tonight?
75.
Makes no sense to me on the 75. Henry, who's the woman? Is this your wife? If so, say the word wife or her name.
14 points.
Henry, did somebody else come here with you tonight? Or are you the only one?
What the hell?
Definitely not from him. That's not his demeanor. Henry, you know I come with respect. I have mainly ladies in here tonight, a few gentlemen. I know it's a larger group, and I also know it's a Saturday. It's probably been crowded in here for you tonight. So we will come with respect and leave with respect. Just a few answers to kind of verify that you're here, next to your bus.
The picture.
What do you got?
It's a tree. It's a tree and a fence, and it looks like it's fall or winter, and it's a long pathway with all lit by lamps.
Okay. What kind of lamps? Are they?
2.9. They're tall, like lamp posts.
We've actually gotten we've gotten triple digits here, like during these sessions, so it's been a while. So
Looking for
the lamp.
Is this the time she said that? Looking for?
Yeah.
Henry, what are you looking for? I was expecting her to tell me she saw a small building, like your old schoolhouse. You want to talk about when you were a teacher? Henry?
Successful.
pickup truck?
I got visit and very talented. That's all.
Very talented and successful.
I got very
Moses
talented
death.
as well.
What was it, death to you?
I have a picture.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
It's a woman. It's a girl, and she's got her hair swept back a little bit. She looks like she's dressed in pink, like a pink, almost like corset top. She's got a barrette in her hair and short brown hair.
What time period would you say it was?
Gosh, probably 1800s.
And how old would you say this young lady
It's
is?
a ballerina. It's a ballerina.
Oh,
Yep, I can see there's a tutu.
okay. Age group is her. How old is this young lady?
18.
Okay. Guys, let's circle in pretty tight. These guys look a little hard. Okay, Henry. Back to you, sir.
Moderate.
Not really sure, like you're trying to show us things about your wife, but the point I was going to make to these folks is that I know you met your wife when you were her teacher. She was 16 years old.
Supposed to find?
More about searching. Henry, do you want to talk more about your wife? Lots of pictures of young ladies in there. I'm not sure who these folks are yet. I haven't seen the images. Henry?
Intimate terms?
So we're running out of time already. We're down to about 4 minutes, Henry.
Lovely?
Intimate and lovely. I'm talking about his wife. Can you give us your wife's first name, please?
Gone away from them?
Henry? Looking for your wife's name.
I don't care.
Brent, you got anything?
Nope.
This poor guy hasn't heard shit all night.
I never. Hell no.
Henry, let's move on to a different topic. Let's talk about subject matter of your work. Can you tell us what that was about? After you were a school teacher. You go out to the battlefield, you come home, what do you do? Angela, anything else? Henry? He's got that thing in French.
Somebody to lean on the song.
Did you need help from somebody? Another writer friend maybe that was here in town?
128, 121.
We are.
Henry, did you just give us your birthday? Birthday's December 8th. 128.
Trying.
Trying. Talk about your deaths then. Gave us your birthday. I'll take it. You want to talk about your death? How you were sick? Henry, we're down to about a minute.
I have a picture.
Okay. A lot of pictures tonight.
It's a bunch of, it looks like military men
Okay.
standing in a long, long, long line.
What color are their uniforms?
They're green, red beret, red something. It's a little bit blurry.
Okay.
But yeah, the uniforms are green and they're all standing in very close to each other
House
in like their
living
military
inside?
formation.
Henry, we're gonna wrap this up. Can you tell us goodnight? You gave us some military things. I got some vague references.
Joshua, you the man.
Told you could be silly. Henry, last chance.
Oh, picture. It's
I'll be there when I'm ready.
It's a kid. It's a little girl, and then there's a woman next to her, and the little girl's sleeping with her.
How old is this little girl?
Probably 4,
Okay.
5, 6. I can't really tell. But she's wearing a pink top, and she's got short hair, brown hair, and then it looks like there's a woman, maybe only half of her face showing, sleeping next to her on this side.
Wow.
And
I like how they always do this. Like we can see where
I know. I'm sorry.
everybody does it. I just think it's fun.
It's hard.
45 mean anything?
Team.
No. Henry, I'm gonna call it a night, sir.
He did say he'd be here when he's ready.
You would. You did. All right, Amy, let's go ahead and get her tapped out. Elaina, go ahead and peel that thing off your face. Neither one of you get up. Doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel like 10 minutes to you?
No.
How long does it feel?
Like 2 to 3
Sorry.
minutes.
This is like the only thing I have that messes up your guys' hair. When I bought the blindfolds, I wanted to make sure, like, I figured there were going to be ladies sitting here.
Yeah.
That's why I bought the ones I did instead of the ones that go all the way around. But with this, I'm like, yeah, I can't get around it. All right, so let's take a look at these images. So I'm going to count this as, like, super weird because I'm not
29.
really sure.
I may have messed
29.
up. It was a little blurry.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh shoot.
How this goes.
Wow.
So we're all going to kind of huddle around so you guys can see these images. I'm excited about the 29 and the 2.9 and a couple of the other pieces.
128.
Yeah, the 128 is super interesting. She heard the numbers 128. So, yeah, don't get up yet, baby giraffe. What are you doing? You're going to fall on your head. I'll go around.
Yeah.
These ones actually stay pretty small.
Alternate
So I'll kind of go around. I have to, that's the biggest I can make them, but they all these images will be in your report. Just so you guys have this idea of what she was looking at. And why I was asking like time frame. A lot of that you can tell by the film that it's being, put on. This is obviously some kind of sepia, type mentality. So I don't really see any reference to this. And with all these images,
That came through clear as day.
that is creepy.
Yeah.
Good job.
That one.
I also run all these images through Google Lens. So in case I'm missing something or there's a gun that showed up, like with the military image that she had show up, I'm going to run that through Google Lens to see if it matches up to any specific uniforms. So you've already seen it, so I can skip over you. So you super creepy, right?
I don't like that one.
I don't like that one either.
This is actually kind of a really pretty scene. The snowy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's actually pretty cool.
Did anybody else notice that right before she had that picture though, she said nature?
Yeah.
We also had Finding and the Path that showed up as well. And when she said path, this one showed up about a minute later too.
Do you feel like there were two people?
Yes.
I feel like there were two people.
Someone was very soft and lovely with their ballerinas and
Yeah.
children and like very like.
And somebody was mad.
There's actually no
Somebody was
way.
very mad because I actually had LMAO over there, and I even told him like this said LMAO,
Yeah, I seen that.
and I was like, that's like really morbid, like. And so for the
Yeah.
Josh is the man.
Josh
Oh, okay.
is the man. Yeah, Joshua,
So, here-
Joshua is the man.
I told you guys earlier that Dr. Ladd likes to follow me around. The reason why he likes to show up through these is the house that he lived in at 59 Church Street is literally around the corner. He would chime in. That's why I always ask Dr. Ladd who else came with me. So the new space for this year, we didn't do it tonight because it's Saturday. It's way too noisy for us to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ballerina.
Definitely a ballerina, she's got a shaved head. The side of her head's kind of shaved.
Is it? Okay, I was like, is that a barrette?
Oh,
it
it
just looks different in the.
Yeah. They're going to look a little bit different. Military guys.
I started laughing.
So the other piece here is that we have a woman named Mary Ravenel that will show up from time to time. I normally talk about her Sunday through Thursday around the corner because we do a live EVP session. So a live EVP session is a voice recorder that can basically hear a frog fart from 3 miles away. And as I tell about the murder mystery, hopefully the listener will get a disembodied voice coming through. Like that's the whole hope. So of course you need complete silence because when you have all this traffic and drunken idiots walking by.
Yeah, at one point I could hear a car or loud car.
Yeah. So again, it's really hard to do on this on Friday to Saturday. So I just don't do it. So I only do it Sunday to Thursday. time, but she will show up from time to time too. And I actually learned about her by doing this. I got a picture of a woman laying on the ground, and this woman was shot and was on the ground. That's how she was found. So that's how her murder mystery started, but the whole point of that image that came out of this, what I'm showing you right now, was that if you put that image next to a picture of Mary Ravenel, you'd swear they were twins. I was like, well hot damn. Like, pretty interesting piece. I think that's a lot of it. So, I'm not going to super count any of these except for our nature picture, only because of the things that were being said in relevant time. Everything else was kind of almost a dud, but as far as the things that were popping up, I thought they all had a little bit of tinge of something, but we never had any definitive, like, hey, I'm here kind of mentality. I did ask this gentleman about, his occupation. He was a writer, and I do believe you said right here, so I still had the word right in there, even though it was out of context. It's still the same phonetic sound. And we actually had that over there that Matt heard when we were over by the bus. I'm not going to give you the history. You're going to have to wait for the audio to come back to you, or the people that you came with to be able to tell you how this went down. You'll obviously have the full video. For those of you with cameras, go ahead and hit those stop buttons if you haven't already.